Where are we? This week on Hapless Heroes.
Dr. Dedude, there is something very wrong here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. I'm Francesco, and I'm your host and DM? Question
What?
mark for this
Question mark?
episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. So we need a little extra time to prepare this excellent and wonderful combat that is gonna, be epic and amazing and all that. But turns out, these things take time, and we were running short of it. However, what I do have time for right now is the time to introduce a very interesting cast for tonight. And I'm going to start on I guess it doesn't really matter, my virtual right with Zach as Pregnart.
Hello.
And to his right, John as Dr. Dedu.
What is that evil creature? Fly away! Fly away!
Yeah. That's it. What happened is, as the rest of the party is staring down the risen corpse of one Dr. M.M. Mudgett, who is being embodied by Vecna, because Vecna is too coward to face us himself right now, or just too lazy, or maybe doesn't think we're worth it. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. But until then, while that is happening, Dedu and Pregnart were flying above the battlefield.
They were told to just take a lap.
Yeah, take a lap, just keep it. If things get hairy, maybe come down and figure out assistance at that point. So they are flying in the sky, and the sky, I use sky, the term loosely, because obviously the sky here in this dark city, Tarantis, is absolutely messed up. There's just like all manner of like magical auras and like floating debris just sort of like all over the place, right? As if the laws of gravity don't apply to certain things for arbitrary reasons that I don't have to explain to you. And as Dedu and Pregnant are flying, Dedu, I would like for you to make me a perception check, please.
Okay. I don't think Dedu's bad at these.
If I recall, you're not great at them either.
Well, it's not a...
And actually, Pregnant, why don't you make me one too, just because I feel like making people roll some dice right now.
Got a 7.
8.
Oh, perfect. So you guys are a little focused on what's happening down below. There's some sort of dialogue happening back and forth between the characters down there, and none of you notice until it's too late that these two arches of golden metal seem to have, like, as they're floating in the sky, like briefly, just for the ever so slightly briefly, connect their split, their split parts and form a perfect archway. This archway now begins to glow a color like almost like a shimmering purple, very similar to the way we use like the portals in the time room back in the day would shimmer.
Say.
When they were transporting you to a certain timeline.
Which only Pregnart knows. And Dedu
which
is
only
flying.
Pregnart knows. Before Pregnart is able to say, "Oh, Dedu, look out."
Oh, Dedude, look out!
You are sucked into a portal.
So I didn't say that. It was before.
Yeah, you were interrupted. I was just trying to interrupt you while you were saying it, and then it's
So that was... We're already splitting the timeline here.
Yes, whatever. I'm gonna cut you off or something. Like, oh, Dedu, look out, and then
Just leave all this in. This is great.
Yeah, this is it. This is
gold.
We're not. All of this is staying in. This is
the
audience.
episode.
This is a special treat for you. Is what's happening, and you are sucked in, and are immediately spit out into the streets of Tarantis, but like, it's an actual like functioning normal city. There's people. running around and doing stuff. There's, everything seems just briefly like normal.
Are they running to and fro?
They are running to and fro. They are
My
jumping
God.
up and down. Some people are just jumping for joy. Others are just living their daily lives. Everything looks like just like a normal busy street in a very populous city. Something does stick out to you immediately. There are banners hanging from many different tall historical buildings of some great import, and all of these banners have the depiction of some strange halfling fellow making various lewd poses. Like
You
there's
don't say.
some poses like it's like almost like he's like he's like biting his finger and sticking his butt out. There's others where he's like like laying on a bare rug and there's only like a small towel covering his midsection. And then they're just sort of all over the city, and every and in every banner has some sort of platitude saying something to the variation of all hail Spanx, and Spanx is the supreme big boy. He is the most supreme big boy. And you just see this all it's plastered everywhere. You cannot turn around without seeing the face, like some sort of lewd pose of this man hanging somewhere.
Now,
And everyone
Dew
just
and
is
Pregnart
ignoring
don't
him.
know who Spanx is, right?
You do not, which is amazing to me.
Well, no. Pregnart knows who Spanx is because they interacted in the strange past.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they
okay,
did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. So yes, Pregna, you recognize this fellow.
Yeah, I do.
Does did Dew notice like the ley line or anything?
Great question. No. There is no ley line protruding, or finding its way to the sky. You look in the direction where you would expect it to be, and it is not there.
Okay. Dew will turn to Pregnart. Who is this disgusting little man?
That's all I know about him. He's disgusting.
Is there like a park or anything like that? Maybe in like a nicer part
you
of town?
you were spit out into like an alley that opens out into like a large, like one of the larger like city squares of Tarantus. Tarantus is a huge city,
Right.
but you can see that there is like a palace, on a big hill, and there's also like you seem to be in like just like one of the like market areas right now. There is like I said, people running all about, and there is a kid in the middle of the street shouting, like holding up some sort of pamphlets and shouting something. It's barely audible, but she looks, I don't know. Could make me some perception checks, both of you, again.
Okay. Dew is also trying to perceive the nearest sausage cart.
Of course you are.
I have a 14.
17.
Okay. So, so let's just take some general surroundings. First, the portal behind you is closed. It's gone. Nowhere to be seen. The second thing you notice is that this girl looks oddly, has some similar, almost like, it's hard to tell from this distance, but like you could have sworn if you were to double take that it might be Boris, but she's...
Pregnart does a
There's-
double take.
You do a double take. It's still hard to tell because she's wearing like very, very nice clothes. Her hair is done up in a way that you've never seen her wear her hair before, and she seems to be just like handing out pamphlets to people as they pass by.
So I imagine at this point, Dew and Pregnart are on the ground level, kind of walking. Of course,
You
Dew-
were spit out onto the ground.
Yeah, Dew looks like an emu with a beard and clothes on. So,
But you're a goose.
right,
Which I think
just
is
emu
that,
size goose.
is that so strange in the city of Tarantus?
There's all
They
kinds
take
of
all
people.
comers here,
Yeah.
But
especially
he
now
still,
that
he like kind of
Spanx
like,
is in charge.
right. He kind of like waddles up to Boris, like puffs himself up a little bit. Oh, hello, Boris. Where are the nearest sausages?
Excuse me, good sir. Would you like a
Yes?
flyer, please? There's music. Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, would you like a flyer, maybe? And just like she's stopping and putting the flyer back in her bag, or I'm putting the flyer back in my bag, and then like picking up my dress or like my petticoats to like run over to the next person daintily, and then like pulling the flyer back out so my dress doesn't get dirty as I'm moving between the people.
Dedu will take one of the flyers and put it in his sausage satchel, and then take out a sausage and hand you a sausage from his sausage satchel.
Boris, a strange bird person that you've never met before in your entire life is now handing you a sausage in exchange for a flyer.
Are you offering me the sausage, or are you just like dropping it into my hand?
They also know your name.
Pretty much, yeah, we know your name and dropping it into your hand.
Boris pulls her hand back quickly to try to avoid having the sausage touch it.
If the sausage hits the ground, Dedu quickly just gobbles it up.
Pregnart does a
Oh
history
my.
check. I think Pregnart's going to do a little bit of a history check so he can maybe take a second chance at processing what kind of portal they went through earlier.
Sure.
Never mind. That's a 5.
A 5? A 5 is good enough to know this is fucking strange.
Okay. So we're in the strange. We're in a strange.
You're in a strange.
Dedu says, a musical concert, you say? Huh. The last one of these I was at was extremely violent. I think a couple of people died.
You look at the flyer and you can see that the flyer is advertising a show that you get excited about initially. It says Frankie Wild and the Wild Bunch minus Frankie Wild minus the Wild Bunch plus the Sultans of Swag. I'm sorry.
No, you got it. I think you got it.
Okay. It's the Sultans of Swag now. No, but it's the Sultans of Swag now.
It's the Sultans of Swag now.
I think I used to be in this band. It's hard to remember.
You did play air guitar for the Wild Bunch. So that's interesting, you think to yourself, maybe.
That sounds strange.
But this Boris character is not regarding you as anyone familiar or anyone that she knows.
Doesn't matter, Dedu's following her around.
Boris, there is a strange bird person now shadowing you as you are trying to hand out flyers.
And a strange frogman.
And a strange frogman. Yeah, I guess that is also startling.
Who's
Hang
also
on.
tried to tell you that he's in the band you're promoting.
I rolled a 7. Do I perceive that they're following me? I have a +0 in perception.
Oh, right, yes. No, I guess not.
Boris
Although,
continues.
no,
to hand out
actually, no.
flyers.
They're very obviously like it's okay. I'm sorry, but like in no matter what kind of diverse city you find yourselves in, these two always find a way to stick out with the constant honking, sausage gobbling, and whatever the fuck it is that Pregnart does.
Boris? What is going on?
This is the second time you've now been addressed by your first name.
Boris, what is happening?
I'm sorry there, Frogman. I don't recognize you. Have we met at a ball before?
We are adventurers together.
Adventure?
I've never seen you. I've only seen you put a costume on to be fake like this.
I don't. A costume? Adventures? I don't know what you're talking about. I would do no such thing.
Something is very wrong here. If this disgusting guy is Supreme Big Boy, we need to figure out. Can you help us figure out what is happening so we can? There's something very wrong. We need to fix this.
I don't fix things. I look pretty and hand out flyers.
Huh? How do you know the band? Huh?
I don't. My dad made me get a job because of him. And I point at one of the signs.
Do they need like an extra guy? I said I think I used to be in this band. I can help you, and I think, but mainly we need to figure out how to fix what is very, very wrong around here, which is probably this guy who's big supreme big boy.
I don't know if anything is wrong here, but I don't like him, and we do need band members, so come with me. And Boris just leads them into the bar, I guess.
Boris leads you to a place that is, well, you can see a sign out front it's labeled the halfway in, INN. However, one of the ends has been absolutely carved off the sign, and someone has drawn a crudely shaped phallic symbol where it used to be. And you can see that there's signs all up front advertising the same thing that Boris was handing out flyers for it. Again, Frankie Wild and the Wild Bunch minus Frankie Wild minus the Wild Bunch plus the Sultans of Schwag. And there you can hear the sounds of some rehearsal happening in here. The bar is actually closed, as you're being led in. The stools are still up on top of the bar. The tables have barely been set, and the band is on a small stage rehearsing. And on the stage, playing what looks to be standing way in the back on some percussive bongo type instrument is that Quinn?
Is that Quinn?
Lord and Captain. He might be able to help us get back.
Pregnart goes over to approach him.
As you're approaching him, you see that Quinn is wearing some of the simplest clothes you've ever seen. You would it almost you're almost stunned for a moment, because you would think that the Quinn would never be caught dead in such drab as he is sporting currently. There's no large hat. There's no he's not armed. He doesn't really look the adventuring sort in any way. He just kind of looks like an everyday Joe.
Dr. Dedude, there is something very wrong here.
Oh, he looks like Quinn to me. And Dedude kind of again waddles over to him.
As you're also walking up, you also notice that the band itself, while not featuring Frankie Wild at all in any way, is receiving directions from A1 Frankie Wild on how to be more like Frankie Wild. Can we get some play off of what, just give me some dialogue now.
Yeah.
I require that you cease and desist your lies, being this boring. You are not wild enough. No! Oh no. It needs to be bigger!
The singer's I can't take the shit. Why don't you just do it yourself then, Frankie?
Because then you would not be the Sultans of Schwag. You would not be the Sultans of Schwing.
I've just wanted to be the Sultans of Schwag. Why do we have to be a stupid freaking cover band? I swear, it's Spanx just wants the worst for everyone. And you can see him beginning to just now shout slander against Spanx's name almost out of nowhere through some sort of side doors. He's almost yanked off of stage by a comically large hook and brought into custody of some authorities that have now stormed the building and are now carrying this man off the stage.
Hey, what's going on here?
A Spanx Mahiny appears from the group of authority that have now carried away the nameless singer of the Sultans of Schwag.
This displeases the Supreme Big Boy. I don't like what's going on here. You're dragging my name around through all the filthy mud. I don't like it.
You can see that Quinn himself even looks a little taken aback and worried that Spanx is now present as well, and he remains oddly silent.
Boris has dropped into a deep curtsy and is not moving from it.
That curtsy needs to get deeper, little one.
What does Quinn do?
Quinn is just like wringing his hands very nervously. He notices that Frankie's upset. Mahaine's in the room. He knows that nothing's going to go well at this point. Yeah, he's not comfortable.
Okay, the vibe has been checked. Dedu, Pregnart, what happened? What's going on?
Dedu's just kind of like, again, kind of slowly, a little bit slower now. He doesn't want to get himself in trouble. But he's kind of like still waddling slowly over to Quinn, trying to inch closer to Quinn.
You do not curtsy before or bow before the Mahaini as he enters the room?
No.
Now don't look at me. I am disinterested in being anti-establishmentarianist.
Oh, Frankie. That's how I like you.
See,
You're the best.
this is why I have to have people cover my band. Because
I know.
I'm a punk. But if I start to rock, then it is punk rock, and that is against the establishment. Yeah,
There's nothing I like better than state-sponsored punk music. Anyway. What the fudge is going on around here? Who are you guys, and why are you not deep curtsying to me, the supreme big boy?
You were asked a question.
Supreme Big Boy. And Dedu reaches into his sack and offers Mahaini a sausage.
All right. Well, I guess you're okay.
What is going?
Oh my God! What the fuck are you?
What? My name is Pregnant.
And why are you not curtsying?
Because you're disgusting, man.
Well, thanks for noticing.
No, that is not a compliment. I don't know where I am or what is going on here, but something's very wrong.
Well, I don't know where you're from, but around here, I'm the supreme big, sweet, sassy boy, Spanks Mahaini. And you need to get in line.
The guards stand to attention as soon as he utters the words "get in line." They are ready to apprehend anyone else who does not support the supreme sweet big boy.
Now, are you ready to get in line and salute the big sassy supreme boy, Spanks Mahaini?
Pregnart sort of, he sees the writing on the wall, and he says,
Yeah, I suppose so. I think I can deal with this for a little longer.
Well, the rest of the band, is looking around and is like, so are we still practicing? Our singer
Hell
kind
yeah.
of just got fired.
No, the show must go on. I need this band running as soon as possible.
Okay, well, from the top, everybody, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they all try to break out into a ditty. And Quinn, do you just start playing, or are you just taken aback by this?
I would say that he's like shifty-eyed, right? Like, so he's like doing what he's supposed to be doing. So
He's
like
watching these strangers. Okay.
He's banging on his drum and just kind of like keeping an eye on them because like they're definitely not normal to him. They make him very nervous.
Wait, is there a singer?
No,
There isn't anymore.
the singer
Okay.
the singer was defiantly carried away.
Okay, Frankie starts visibly shaking once the first verse starts, and nobody is there singing. At about the second bar, his eyes are bugging out just a little bit.
The
All right.
music continues.
You guys need to
Fine.
get your shit together. And I don't want to see anything less than perfect next time I see you on stage. All right, guys, let's get the fuck out of here.
And Spanx
And
and his entourage.
Spanx
yeah.
motions to the
leave.
guards and the patrol.
The second the portal closes, just a gigolo. Everywhere I go, people know the part I'm playing. And he's kicking right into the song with the band, his face lighting up incandescently. The second Spanx is out of range, and after a few bars, he's like, I gotta rock. I can't do it anymore. I gotta rock.
Fireworks explode as like Frankie finishes the last verse almost out of nowhere, as if they were magically summoned. And it's almost as if you could hear the footsteps of the guards walking away stop and begin to now turn around and start walking back towards this establishment.
Dedu puts his like feathered arm around Pregnart and kind of like scoots him faster over to Quinn. And just starts going, "Ha, Quinn! Ha, Quinn! Ha, Quinn!"
How do you know my name?
We know you.
We
need to
know
meet.
you.
We need to meet in private. We need to discuss what is happening here. We're very confused. We know who you are.
His eyes keep shifting from the guards back to them, back to the guards, back to them. And he's clearly not like, he does not want anything to do with these guys.
Just
One
play
of,
it cool.
one of the guards walks back in. I'm sorry, did I just hear explosions? Was there magic being used in here? Because you know how much the Supreme Big Boy doesn't like magic. Frankie, you weren't singing again, were you?
No.
You are under specific orders to provide only guidance to Frankie Wild and the Wild Bunch minus Frankie Wild minus the Wild Bunch plus the Sultans of Schwag.
Boss.
Under no circumstances, as required by law, are you allowed to sing.
I would never imagine.
And that wasn't you just singing before as we were walking away.
No.
So who
It was
was it
merely
then?
extreme pantomime.
The guard now pulls out his sword and starts pointing at each member of the band and each one of you. So which one of you was it? Which among you has the voice of an angel? Speak up now, so you may be presented to the Supreme Sweet Big Boy himself for further auditions. Yeah. No one? I knew it! Frankie, you've been singing again!
Quinn's not saying
Yeah,
anything.
no.
He's just standing there beating the drum like faster and faster.
Said I can never imagine. But I have a dream.
That's
A
it.
vision.
That's
A
enough.
prognostication.
That's enough postulating. Wild, you know what happens now. That's it. You, the band, everyone else in here, you're all coming with us! And the guards now swarm the building again and try to move to arrest all of you, including Boris, the sweet child who was only handing out pamphlets.
Dedu will try to teleport all of us outside the building.
Perfect. You try to cast the spell, and the spell fails. And alarms start going off.
Are you using magic? Are you insane?
And now the guards with more fervor. Oh, we got a high level magic user in here. We need to get the Supreme Big Boy into lockdown right now. Get him into protection immediately.
What have you done?
And now everyone again. You are being moved. Like everyone's moving to arrest you. And without much effort, because there are many of them and not many of you, and magic doesn't work, and that's usually your primary means of getting things done. They actually do apprehend you. You're struggling and fighting.
Unhand me, you ruffian!
Fuck the law. The law won.
Frankie Wild is gagged after speaking his little one-liner there. And the rest of you are brought along as accomplices of one Frankie Wild.
Oh, no, this is not okay.
Do you know who my father is?
We don't care, little girl. Someone used magic at Frankie Wild, saying this is an absolute travesty. As you can see, like, as they're carrying you down the street, you can see, like, not far ahead of you, because Spanx was not far off when, Frankie started singing again. You can see that he's now being hurried off into, like, a large, it looks like a government building with, like, very ornate, and it's got, like arches and domes, and, all the windows are barred up and things like that, and he's being, like, brought in there, but you are being brought towards the same building.
Quick, get me into my spank room.
We don't really want to know what that is. As you are being brought into this place, you can see that the different halls and things you're being carried off to, and the different staircases you're going down now. There's all manners of ridiculous decorations. 90% of the things that this place is decorated with would be considered sex toys in most cultures. But outside of that, there was one thing that just ever so briefly, like, you passed by that caught your eye, and it almost looked like a shard of glass, of black glass. You remember
Any shard of black glass is a sex toy if you're brave enough.
No. The shard looks oddly familiar to the ones that the rest of the party was handling after the third eye of Vecna was destroyed.
Does Pragnart see the shard?
Yes.
Pragnart asks one of the guard. Is Pragnart in shackles?
No, you're just being carried. You're just being carried by, like, two strong people.
All right, Pragnart goes,
Wait!
and
There's a
he
brief
tries
pause.
to do it very convincingly. Do I need to roll to be convincing?
No, because I feel like Pragnart definitely commands attention when he speaks. The guards will... We're not
I
making
have
this up.
+1 persuasion anyway. I'm just gonna roll for the hell of it.
Sure.
24.
Beautiful. They wait. What could it possibly be that we need to wait for?
That is my question. What is that piece of black glass?
Oh, that? Oh, well, so as the story goes, a while ago, some powerful and strange person visited our realm, and something happened between him and Spanx, and, well, Spanx ended up with that in his possession, and in exchange for that traveler to go away and apparently not destroy the city. I don't really know. Spanx really likes to brag about it. It's one of his marks of achievement, and it's one of the reasons why no one really messes with him. What we understand is that apparently that artifact has more magical power than anything ever in this world could possibly imagine. And well, with magic outlawed, Spanx, saw it fit to, have it in his own personal safekeeping. He's the only person allowed to handle anything magical whatsoever, or cast anything magical, or do anything related to magic whatsoever.
That sounds horrible. But also makes this whole situation make a little bit more sense.
No, none of it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
None of this makes sense. We're all just doing the bidding of Mr. Mahoney, or Supreme Big Boy Mahoney, because if we don't, well, he'll kill everyone we know and everyone we love. And say something crude and off-color. And well, none of us really could even dream to stand against him because of the power he wields and the people in his pocket. It truly is a strange time we live in. Anyways, we were supposed to be arresting you. Gosh, you're just so nice, little frog person. It's hard to be mad at you.
No, and it seems like we both want to work towards the same end, which is to make more sense of this place. And man, it seems like nobody likes Spanx Mahoney.
Shh! He shushes you aggressively as soon as you say that. Not so loud, Frogman. And the rest of the guards turn around and they all look at you and in a hushed tone, they all kind of start murmuring to themselves. And this guy who's talking to you says, "Listen, okay, you're right. No one likes Spanx. No one has ever liked Spanx. In fact, we've hated Spanx since the moment he was introduced into our lives. But none of us have had the power or the will to stand against him, and for better or worse, whatever he did stopped some sort of great tragedy from befalling our city that we may never know."
This actually looks worse than the fight with Vecna, honestly.
Vecna is involved in this? Oh my. Listen, I mean, what are you, some kind of crazy time travelers here to stop Spanx or something? Because my goodness, could we use some divine intervention right now?
Well, I am a very powerful wizard. If I would trade you for that magical artifact over there.
What would you trade? Are you saying you can stop Spanx? Are you saying you are strong enough?
If I'm able to use spells, it's Pregnant too. He's very, very powerful. Oh, yes.
There's an anti-magic ward enchanted this entire city, but, there are certain people who are allowed to perform magic for the entertainment of Spanx, and they are able to wear these special bracelets that allow them to cast spells. We could find some for you if you promise to end his reign of terror for good.
Yeah, and Dedu hands each guard a sausage.
No, we don't want that. I don't understand what this is. No, please keep your strange wet sausages. That is not
as they
gonna
hand
help
them
anyone
back.
right now.
Dedu eats each one as he takes it back.
Out of their hands. Also, the rest of you, what say you? Do you stand against the tyranny of Spanx? Can we count on you?
Who is he motioning? Who is he speaking to?
The civilians.
The other three.
Not you, Frankie, they say. God, I don't know why Spanx idolizes this guy so much. He's been a washed up rock star for the last 20 fucking years.
I mean, Spanx I don't like, but Frankie I do like a lot. I think he's very talented.
Ugh. Little girl, are you sure you want to get yourself caught up in this mess?
It seems better than handing out flyers.
Do you know how to use a knife?
I've cut an apple before.
Good enough. One of them hands you a weapon.
Boris kind of like is okay. So I'm picturing a small knife, like a very, because little girl in a dress. So I'm picturing it being like the daintiest of weapons they could offer. So Boris takes a couple like practice stabs with it, and then like very quickly, by the end of about 60 seconds, is like flipping it between her fingers. Like, oh, I didn't know I could do this.
Can I just say that once they put the magic wristbands on, they're both level 20? Because that would be really fun if we just go and murder Spanx and then leave.
This entire episode is my elaborate plan to kill Spanx, so...
Wait, what?
No, wait, what did I say? No, that's not what I said. Anyways...
Rekill.
Now suddenly, what was a group of guards going to arrest you is now an angry mob that is now rallying behind you as you seem to possess the power to defeat the supreme tyrant, Spanx Mahiny. Okay, most
Quinn
of
looks
you.
confused.
Quinn looks confused. You, drummer man, do you know how to use a sword?
Oh, heavens no.
Come on, don't you want to be a hero today?
No.
Quinn's very good with a sword. Ha! I've seen him fight many times.
In my stories, but never in real life.
Quinn, we know who you are. We know your lineage.
Honestly, Quinn, you're probably the most likely to get us home. Ha!
What do you mean, my lineage?
Who are you trying to pretend to be? We know you are Quinn Southwind.
Oh, no. I'm Quinn East Breeze. East Breeze. I don't even.
Yes.
I don't even know. Who are the South Winds?
The Southwinds.
Pirates.
Oh, a terrible name to invoke in this space. Oh, the most terrible. Scary. You are not related to the Southwinds.
Oh, no.
Drummer
Not
person?
at all.
No, you're far too nice to be related to that ilk.
No. I'm pretty certain that he is Lord and Captain and Dean.
He tries to like grab his beak and like stop him from speaking.
Yeah.
Stop talking about the South Winds.
And as you utter the word Southwind again, Quinn, suddenly your body feels like this rush of energy. You feel like this thing you've been suppressing for decades is just like trying to fight its way out.
I swallow.
There's a lump in your throat. You feel a lump in your throat as you try to, like gulp, right?
Mhm.
And that gulp is soon replaced by like almost this feeling of nausea.
Oh no.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But nothing more quite yet happens.
Yeah.
You can hear some commotion now down the hall, being like, "Oh, the spank room is occupied. We need to get him somewhere safer."
Get me into the double spank room. Stat!
And the guards with you say, "We know where the double spank room is. We can head him off at this next pass. You have to be able to do something about him now while he's exposed." One of the guards hurries off and comes back with these bracelets and snaps them on the two of you. And say, "Okay, are you ready?"
The dude nods and starts moving in the direction he thinks they're supposed to be going.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh right, you. We can't have you giving us away right now, Frankie, so if we ungag you, will you promise to keep your mouth shut?
Bonjour?
I need you to nod if yes, or shake your head if no, Frankie. Frankie nods. They ungag him.
It's entirely possible I've paid extra for that treatment before.
Oh. To the double spank room. Whatever the fuck that is, that we will not elaborate further on.
Entirely possible I've paid for that extra treatment before.
You're taken through a series of corridors and up of several flights of stairs and into like this this building that seems to be impossibly laid out, and are in front of a room that is, you can see it's like these double doors in gold plaque. Everything is like, you can see that this room was labeled as something else before. This was the executive conference room before, and it has been crossed out and written in marker, the double spank room, over it on the wall. And you can see Spanx Mahoney approaching with a couple guards as you are all standing defiantly in front of the door to the double spank room. And the one guard who Pregnart so easily wooed to his cause speaks up and says, Spanx Mahoney, your reign of terror and debauchery ends today. We're tired of it. We're tired of your bullshit. We're tired of the audience asking what the fuck happened to Spanx. We're tired of all of it.
Hey,
We're
listen.
here to stand against you.
I created the single most influential and important chain of erotic cake and pie shops that the world has ever seen. It was so important and so powerful that when Vecna came, he just said, fuck this, to this entire reality and left me a little shard of himself just so I wouldn't bother him anymore. So I would have the power to preserve this little fucked up kingdom that I love so very, very much with my erotic cakes and pies. And you think you can stop me?
Yes!
You think you can figure out what's going on in this little nutshell?
We've come to the spank room to spank you!
All right. Commence the spanking.
I'm not even going to have you guys roll for initiative. I would like for our level 20 characters to do their thing, please.
Let's see. I would immediately Dadu would immediately polymorph him if he can.
Into?
I'm trying to think. A penguin?
That doesn't do enough to vaporize Spanx. I really need something more than that.
No, we'll get him.
Pregnart casts reduce.
Okay, you now shrink Spanx down to tiny size. What does he sound like when he's tiny?
Oh, little Spanx!
Dadu eats him.
He says that.
He certainly does like eating the tiny wieners.
I think I broke Fran.
Oh no!
So here's the thing, right? Like, he's not like so small that he's bite-sized, but it's almost as if like the dude's like jaw unhinges and like a fucking constrictor snake, just like, you know.
I'm picturing Dadu turns him into a penguin. Pregnant reduces him, and then I just eat a tiny penguin that's made out of Spanx.
Right, and it's just like
Like a
slowly
chipmunk-sized penguin.
moving down like your throat, and you're just like, oh, it's a little tough to, you know.
That might take a while to pass. I might get another stone out of it, though.
The entourage he was with just looks at the thing that just happened so suddenly, drops their weapons and goes, "All hail our new goose overlord! You have freed us from the tyranny of Spanx Mahoney!"
And yeah, the goose man! Whisquawk! Yeah, Gooseman! Whisquawk!
Okay, Quinn,
No.
it's time for us to go home. Let's go.
Quinn, you're still feeling very nauseous.
I just assume that's anxiety and agita.
Do you lean? What are you trying to do to suppress it?
A big bag of Tums.
Perfect. You eat the Tums and you can feel them almost as if like they were like when when you go to like swallow a pill sometimes and it feels like it's stuck in the back of your throat,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have that feeling now. And you almost have to cough or
Yeah.
something to like get it out. Make me a Constitution save, please.
13.
Perfect. You fail,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel this rush of liquid now coming up very quickly, and all of a sudden now this burst of water just flies forth from your mouth once again. Now, you would never have experienced this in this timeline, but to the normal Quinn, this is very familiar as the waters of the south winds now rush forth from your insides and form a portal. And you're like literally like you can't move. You're involuntarily stuck here just like blah, with water, and everyone looks on in horror.
Good job. Thank you, Quinn. And Dedu picks up Pregnart and just heads towards the
Whee!
portal. Right.
You go through and it stops. And we're going to keep the camera in the room with the three confused people who've never known this ever.
Hang on, let me put the camera into focus. Hang on one second.
Please.
All right, focusing. Checking light levels. Got
Right.
it. All right. Go
A,
on, go
B,
ahead.
Mark. Boris in her little dress, standing there holding a knife. Quinn having just vomited up an entire sea's worth of water, and Frankie Wild, bewildered, confused, and probably intoxicated as always. Any final strange words?
I need to drink something. I need to drink around here.
Do I still need to hand out flyers?
Quinn just sits there and just kind of like wipes his nose and mouth for a second. And goes, "Oh, it's always nice to be at the service of others."
Weird. All right, that's it. We killed Spix behind you. Thank God. All right. Now, audience, please stop fucking asking me about Spanx behind me. Okay? Just
Or
stop.
did
Now-
we?
He's been eaten.
But he's so small. Who knows if it through the digestive system of Dr. Dedu,
No.
he will be passed unscathed
No.
or not.
No.
Who knows
No.
what will happen?
Dedu could vomit him up in front of Vecta and he could save us all. We don't know yet.
This is a distinct possibility.
I guess we'll find out next time on the Hapless Heroes podcast. Hey. Wow. Okay. So, if you made it through this fever dream with us, audience,
This was like a Hapless Heroes what if. All right?
yeah, this is
good.
exactly. This
This is great.
This is our take on a what if.
Strange tales from Telduria.
Thank you, audience, for bearing with us and minding our dust as we, take some extra time to prepare our final encounter for you. And we hope you enjoyed whatever the fuck this was. And so if you did, or if you didn't, you could find us on the internet. We're on a bunch of different places, Twitter and Instagram at Hapless Heroes, or whatever. Just like search for us on the internet. It's Hapless Heroes Podcast. You'll find our socials. And those socials will point you to our real social space, and that's our Discord server. Our Discord server is where you can talk to us most frequently, where we are the most active and interacting with our wonderful fans, and where our wonderful fans are interacting with each other. Just check out our social media pages for like a pinned post, or it's like a link in our episode descriptions, and come join the conversation and say hi. And yeah, it's pretty cool place to be.
It's very fun over there.
Yeah, it's fun, and you're missing out, so you should come and join so that you stop.
And other things that will peer pressure you into joining our Discord server.
Yeah, it's your turn to join. You join it now.
If you don't, you're a baby.
Yeah. Yep. You heard it here first. If you're a baby if you don't join our Discord. So join it to not be a baby. And yeah, so then you do that. And if you really, really like us, we'd love it if you left us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. Hey, those things help. We see those words and we love those words and we say those words back to you on the air in the form of a loving review of your review, reviewing your review. And we tell you you're a 5-star human. So do that. And then we'll do that. And hey, if your podcast service doesn't let you do that, you can actually go to our Discord server. We have a 5-star channel in there. Say some nice words. We just want to give you a shout. We want to tell you how awesome you are. And we love hearing how awesome we are because it keeps the wind in our sails. It makes us want to keep doing this show forever. And I just feel like whenever I read all the kind things you say about us, I could live forever. So yes, do that. And it would be great. But if you really, really, really like us, we would encourage you to donate to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/headlessheroes. Whole bunch of different rewards on there. We're also, again, still in the process of coordinating a date for us to get together and eat these stupid one-chip challenge things in 2022. We've already gotten a sneak peek from other people who have done it, who are surrounding us, and oh boy, does it look like it's going to be a time. So stay tuned for that as we torture ourselves for your money. Give us money.
We might cry.
We might even cry a little bit. Also, from what I understand, Massimo mentioned he was interested and might be joining us for that. So,
oh shit!
Hey,
Massimo,
there's a little
Massimo's
special
just coming back for the one chip.
Just for the one chip. Just for the one chip, because he told me, he's like, I'm so down. Fritcha, you just tell me when it is. I'm coming. So, yes, just subscribe and give us your money, and maybe you'll see us eat that thing and cry and tell us how much we love your money. So, yeah.
And if you like us, right now you like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal, incessantly try to start games of telephone and position yourself as the last person every time, just so you can intentionally mishear and miscommunicate the final message, which will every time be, listen to Hapless Heroes podcast.
That's so easy. In fact, that's actually probably one of the best ways to market, is just like inserting yourself at the end of a line for the game of telephone to plug our podcast.
Yeah, that's marketing 101, baby.
Yeah, like they teach that in every school, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
Every
you should do
school.
that for sure. Yeah, well, okay, so that's great. You've heard it. You should do that. And until then, nothing left for me to do besides outro my cast for you one last time, and for real this time. I'm done DMing for this campaign. To my virtual left, it was Dave as Frankie Wild.
Good evening.
Mike as Bizarro Quinn.
Always at your service.
Nicole as Bizarro Boris.
At least Spanx won't make me marry a baron now.
Oh boy. Zach as Pregnart and Spanx Mahoney.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
And John as Dr. Didio.
Until next time, huh?
Tune in next time. There may be an extra week between episodes. There may not be, but it's going to be cool when we do come back. So just stay tuned and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.